Hello, my name is Anna Bracet. I am a student at Cornerstone University. I have chosen to do a topic on balancing work and home. I find this to be very crucial and valuable to those of military combat veterans, especially those that fought in the Iraqi and Afghanistan war. Because many of the veterans are between the ages of 19 and 35, which is quite young. And I hope that you become aware of the strengths that a veteran has to offer to a company when we are discharged from service and receiving help dealing with certain aspects of PTSD. Many argue that the military actually changes a woman who enters in the military by disguising their identity and gain male characteristics. For example, for myself, I actually became a construction mechanic and I was enduring the station in Kuwait. I had no other option other than to lead with the men that I served with. And after comparing many women's veterans who acquired special skills and talents, we actually offer a lot to the workforce when it comes to exclusivity in regards to competency and the kind of get it done attitude, which many companies find it very important to be loyal and being able to work as a team. I'll be explaining in the next few minutes of what PTSD is and how it affects a veteran with activities and certain avoidance of behaviors that when treatment is not followed. So let me start by explaining why many military women face with being discriminated who are linked with a military sexual trauma and how one actually has to fight to get the proper treatment. And not many facilities in the United States has a local VA, and many veterans have to travel over an hour to close to 3 hours to get the proper treatment. And this can be very overwhelming, especially when there are medical needs that need to be met. And a female is actually 3 times more likely to have PTSD than males. And according to the dictionary, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, it is a mental health problem that some people develop after experiencing or witnessing a life-threatening event like combat, a natural disaster, a car accident, or sexual assault. Now, this might not be for everyone, though. However, in the military, I found majority of the people that I served with who are now veterans actually being diagnosed with PTSD. So there are 4 types of symptoms. It's one of the first one is relieving the event, also known as re-experiencing the event of symptoms. For example, myself, I found when I got discharged back in 2010 in San Diego, I would actually surveillance my home and lock and open up the windows due to the fact that I spent majority of my time in a combat vehicle where the windows would slide up and down. Secondly, many veterans would avoid situations that would remind them of the event. I know personally for myself, this has caused me not to challenge or like to argue with anyone. And this can lead to people not wanting to talk or think about the event. The third is having more negative beliefs and feelings. And this is mainly about how you think about yourself rather than others because of the trauma. I know for many who deal with combat and they lose a mate on their team, they blame themselves for not being able to save the member. However, though, this is actually quite normal when it comes to the therapy. And fourthly is feeling keyed up, which is known as hypoarousal. So it's made jittery and having anxiety attacks and always on the lookout of danger. I know for many people don't like to go in supermarkets by themselves due to the corners, and they'll just stay on the outside while going grocery shopping. And many have concentrating of sleeping. And because of all 10% of women who actually support and that are in combat related, I have found personally that Rick Warren's book, The Purpose Driven Life, what on earth am I here for? More understanding therapy than what I was intending. And this is actually where I first found God before I was pregnant, learning about the types of purpose and finding my own purpose to have a balance of life as a single mom. There are 5 purposes and that Warren explains in his book that are more of a spiritual step to grasp the problem and how to deal with it more in a biblical perspective. He has helped me realize at the age of 19 that it is possible to balance the military life along with keeping a baby. Um, Even though I was a single mom, but that's when truly that I found faith. And I had to realize for myself too as well that I had PTSD. And so in order for me to balance a healthy life, I needed to seek treatment for this. And one of the best self-help books that I found for myself was by Winston's B is for Balance, and it's really a more of a nurse's guide to caring for yourself. And they have 12 very important steps in regards to how to deal with stress and living a good, healthy, emotional, well balanced lifestyle. Throughout the book, there are self assessments, evaluation, and self care. But what I like the most about it is that it's self conscious, more in a leadership role, that you are taking accountability for yourself. What I like the most is about the fact that it's only about really finding your own balance in life. And that's in the 12th chapter of the book. And it talks about just understanding your own weaknesses and dealing with different personality types, knowing when it's okay to say no to certain situations, especially in the work, along with focusing on you, tapping back into the creativeness and different hobbies and styles that you normally wouldn't think that you would do, and understanding that it's okay to take a time out. And with that book, I found it to be very helpful. And now you can see why it's important to be able to maintain a continuous reflective of your lifestyle to maintain a good work and home environment. Even though there are military veterans who do not seek help for PTSD, mainly because of its embarrassment and they think that is just the norm. However, though, with acknowledgement of proper self reflection, a veteran can still have a good life purpose and be able to balance their home and work style. And that concludes my topic. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I wish you a blessed day. Thanks.